Hello everyone and welcome. I just want to do this video for my friend really, who's just started to play this. I've recommended it to him, but he's finding it quite difficult, has a very steep learning curve. I'm a bit of a beginner myself, I've not played an awful lot, so I was just going to make this to pass on what I do know already. So we're going to start by looking at different countries and things we can play as, or different people. So we're going to start a new game. We'll start, because he's only got the base game, I think we'll start here in the High Middle Ages. We'll get a custom game set up. Now if you click on the buttons up here, you can see the different kind of realms and things that are there. I do recommend as a beginner starting over here somewhere in Ireland, and then we can see the different levels you can start and play as, king, count. But I would start, to get to really know the game a bit, I would just start as a count somewhere, and then you can work your way up. This game is all about managing a family, so we'll choose one of these, I think. Don't think it really matters, but I would start nearer the north, just because it's a bit better in terms of development. We'll just go over here, shall we? There we go. Irish Catholic. We're in the county of that. Okay, so let's just play this one. Just keep all this the same, the usual. While you're learning to play, it doesn't really matter. And let's have a look. We'll have a little look at our family and what we've got. So the point of this game is you're just managing a dynasty, and you're trying to get them, just gives you an overview here about what it means to be Irish Catholic and then an Earl, and the different things you can do. I wouldn't, again, if you're learning, I wouldn't worry too much about that now. Over here you've got your different map views. I'm going to select realms. That's the map view I prefer to stay in most of the time. And we're in here, so we're a count, and so this is us here. If we click on our county, we can see us here, and we can see our holdings. This is what we're in control of. So this is our castle, and we've got a bishopric as well, and then sometimes later on we might get enough gold to build a city here as well, which is good for tax. But at the moment we've just got this castle, this kind of level of our castle here, lots of stats. Again, it's one of these games, just read the tooltips. It tells you all about these different things. This is our levy here, this is what we can raise from our castle. But we're going to look at our character here. So our character's already married. They're not always married when you choose them. So on this view here you have your character, you have your wife or husband if you're playing as a female character. This is who is going to inherit your title. This is our title here. Okay, and then this is our liege. So this is a guy who's just above us in the hierarchy, and he's the petty king of Connaughtar. So he has over this. He's the level of a duke in this game. So we're a count. We're below him. So he is our liege. Then we've got some information here. This is our family, our house. We can see our family trees here. We got this is our religion, Catholic. This is our government type, feudal. These are different things that can be accessed through the game. So a treasury when you get special treasures, bloodlines if you're playing a character from a famous bloodline, great works, kills if we've planned to assassinate anyone or kill prisoners and stuff, whether we can lead armies or not. And then we've got our traits here. So my character's underhand rogue, which means he's got less martial, which is kind of military skill, but higher in diplomacy. And he's got improved fertility, but he has wrath, envious, he's diligent, and he's charitable. And these affect our character in different ways. These are our character stats over here. And we've got diplomacy, martial, stewardship, intrigue, and learning. And they all kind of do different things. Now our character's pretty good on diplomacy and intrigue. So we are going to pick a focus, which is going to be based around those. Now intrigue is quite good. That's if you want to, kill someone really, and you can also track down spies as well. If you've got plots against you, the higher your intrigue, the more likely you are to uncover them. Stewardship really is about your tax levels. State marshal is how good you are at organising your land and your armies. Diplomacy is how much prestige you have. We'll talk about prestige in a minute. Learning is the kind of technology rates. So he's already got on intrigue. What are the diplomacy ones? So down here, family or carousing. Or carousing might be quite good, because carousing, yeah, let's do carousing focus, because you can meet a lot of people then. And anyway, so we'll pick an ambition as well, and we want him to groom an heir first, probably, I think, because we've got a son, and that just gives us a little boost. So our son is here, he's 13, he needs a focus. We're going to give him a martial focus. Martial is always quite good. We won't marry him just yet, we'll do that later. And then here, this is the titles we hold. This is the ones we have claims on, if we had any. We've also got a daughter as well here, who's 12. She needs a focus too. Well, she's already got some good traits for this one, so we'll give her a stewardship education. Doesn't really, to be honest, as sexist as this sound, it's not really a game about the girls. It's all about the men and the bloodlines and the family. Then you've got other things here. So this is your family view. Then you've got relations, so any friends you make, rivals you have, marriage ties, so that's like brothers and sisters-in-law and so on. Lovers, so they're a different thing. These are our vassals, so we've got a bishop who's under us, who doesn't give us any tax because he's more loyal to the Pope than to us. So there we go. These are the people in our court. So we've got spy masters and courtiers and things. We'll talk about that in a minute. These are the pacts we have. We have a non-aggression pact at the moment, and that's any of our members who are members of our court who are abroad. And up here we've got our council. So the Chancellor, they all can do certain special jobs which are here. The Chancellor, you want really, I mean, we're playing as his diplomacy skill is rubbish. Oh, well, he's much better. 16 is much better. So he's going to fabricate claims for us, and hopefully get a claim on this title here, which means we can fight our Duke for that title. Our Marshal, we really need him to train some troops for us to up our levy. Our Steward is going to collect taxes for us. Our Spy Master, probably actually we should probably study some technology. Now this is always a bit risky because he might get caught. Actually his level's too low, I'm not going to bother. We'll just have him scheming. And then the court chaplain, we want to improve our standing with the Pope, so we're going to send him all the way to Rome, to the papacy. Here we go. And he is going to improve our standing, hopefully, with the Pope a little bit. And so there we go. So that's what you can do with your council. Now, they do get bumped off quite a lot. The Spy Master particularly might get caught and killed. The Chancellor, when he's fabricating claims, can get caught and killed. So you might find that you have pop-ups quite often to replace them. If you ever need to find a character, you can go down here where it says Find Characters and open up the ledger, and then you can search the whole world. It has to be men to work on the council, and you want them in diplomacy range and that they'll join your court. And then you can sort by the different skills here. So if I wanted the people with highest diplomacy, but of course they're not the same background as us. They might be the same religion. These are all Catholics, and this is Orthodox, and so on. So this is a religion, but they're not all the same culture, which means that they're going to have penalties against whether they like us and therefore how well they do their job. Every character has a little number in the box. It's either green or red. Red if it's negative. And you hover over that and it tells you whether they like you or not. A green number means they're more favourable to you, a red number means they're less favourable to you. And it means that they will perform their job better or worse. Now this is the council, they vote on certain laws, and the liege council, this is what your liege has. So we are on that council, we are his chancellor. That doesn't really mean anything, but it does mean we get a vote in certain rules of the laws of the realm. And then we can also grant minor titles, so we can assign a regent. All of these come with some reputation and so on. I'm not going to fill all those in now, I'm just literally showing you what all these different things do. Then along here we've got, next to our council, we've got laws. So this is our laws of the realm. We're agnatic, cognatic, gavelkind, so at the moment it favours boys because it's agnatic. So here our son is going to inherit our title. But because it's Gavelkind, if you have lots of territories, if you hold lots of domains, they're called, and it's up here, then they get split between your boys. Unless you don't have any boys, then they get split between your girls. The realm, the different bits we can do here, different bits of law, they come with different buffs and different positives and negatives. Our obligations to our nobles, our burghers, the citizens of towns, churches and tribes, about, we don't have any tribes because we're feudal, about whether they give us more tax or more levy. And then our council, what the different things the council can do. Here we've got our technology, so we develop technology over time, we can put it in different things. If you hover over each box, it tells you what those things do. The military, so this is when we go to war, how we raise our army. So we go to here, we can then raise our levy, which is this button here, and if we had vassals, like a mayor or another castle, we can press that one as well. But there's our army there, look, and we can move them around just by right clicking on the map. But it takes some time to get to places. We can assign commanders here and so on. Once we're done with them, we just press this red button here. Now if you have vassal levies, they cost you reputation to maintain. The longer you have them up, the less your vassals like you, because you're taking men away from them. And if you've got a navy, you'd raise your fleet here as well. And retinues, army, professional army basically, but they're quite expensive if you're feudal, so I tend not to use those. Intrigue, so this is where you can make decisions about, some of these cost gold, and some of them will cost, like inviting a holy man to court costs piety, so piety is up here. Voting a noble to court costs gold, but some of them cost prestige as well, or give you prestige. And prestige, the higher your prestige, it means the more that other leaders look at you in a positive way. So the higher your prestige gives people a better opinion of you. And then you've got plots here. You can choose to have a plot and kill someone, or have someone killed, and it gives you a certain amount of plot power. So if we were to go to this now, I can't. Let's have a look at someone in the realm. Let's kill this bishop. Killing a bishop actually comes with lots of downsides, but it tells you your plot power. If you tick this box, then other people who back your plot will automatically join, but you'll see that everyone here has got a red down thumb, so they're not going to support it. But if you have them backers, once it gets over 100%, it's just a question of time then, waiting for it to kick off. Eventually the plot will fire, and the person that you've asked to be killed will either die, or the plot will fail, and they won't, and they might find out that it was you, and that causes all sorts of issues with reputation. Factions in your kingdom or county or wherever you're a part of, so this might be about changing the election law, or this is other people rising up against you, so keep an eye on that. This is kind of religion, what's going on in your area in terms of religion, what religion they are and what's available. And then societies, which is an expansion which you won't have if you're playing the base game. So that's really it in terms of the kind of basics. Play with the map modes, have a look at those. They tell you all sorts of different things. So you can see the de jure duchies, so that's what counties belong together to make a duchy. The de jure kingdoms, which will all be coloured different colours, so you can see what they should look like now. De jure empires, so you can see here what we've got. Now you can see that a bit better if you click on your area, and you can see along the top here. So you can see this is our county. This is our petty kingdom that we're part of, the duchy. Now if we click on that, we can see that to go into there, we can see the different things that it's part of. So our duchy here, the duchy we've got here, we can see what he owns, we can see his tax income, but then you can also see later on what they belong to, and you are able to, you might be able to take titles off people, or make a title of a bigger title like the Kingdom of Ireland, because at the start the Kingdom of Ireland doesn't exist. It's just a collection of petty kingdoms or duchies, and one of the ideas to start with will be that you spend a bit of time working through Ireland, making claims on other counties like we have here. Then you go to war with them, you try and win the war to get the title, and then you keep growing really and expanding until eventually you've got enough, and you have to have 51% of a whole kingdom area, a de jure kingdom area, to then form the kingdom. And you can form the Kingdom of Ireland, which gives you more prestige and you're better thought of, and then you can have dukes under you. So you start as a count. The next level up then is duke. Then dukes can become kings. Kings then can become emperors. So you've got 4 different tiers of noble, and you can work your way up. Or if you wanted to, you could start as an emperor. You could start as the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire and see if you can hold it together. That's quite a difficult start because you have all your vassals start fighting amongst each other, trying to break free. But if you're trying to learn the game and you want to learn it from that point of view, you could do it from that side as well. You do have what's called a domain limit, so you're only allowed a certain number of personal holdings, and for us that's only 2. But the higher up the ranks you go, the more you're allowed to hold yourself, but it's still not very high, so you have to learn then to dish out the land to other people in your other people to make more vassals and hopefully get them working together. I hope that's given you a little bit of an overview. There's a lot to talk about. There's lots of great things. This game gets very addictive because it's very easy to get really into the story and try and make a dynasty that lasts for a very long time. But I hope you have a lot of fun with it and enjoy.